Okay, hello there YouTube. This is Market Michael. I'm coming at you with top 3 resources you should be using in the stock market. Coming at you here. So, if you haven't guessed by the thumbnail, we got Finviz, Yahoo Finance, and StockCharts. StockCharts. um, when I first started trading, those were pretty much like my to-go-to sites. So, I think people, even I still utilize them to this day. Um, they have lots of information, great resources. So let's get started here. So we're going to go to Finviz first. Oh, and before we get started here, I would like to say if you have a brokerage account, um, the brokerage account usually has resources, so you don't need to rely on these. So for those people who don't have brokerage accounts, these sites are going to be essential to getting market information. Um, but if you do have a brokerage account, I encourage you to go on their website and check out to see if they have any platforms to use, or just their website, because they usually have some good information and some good resources on their website. Anyway, let's kick it off with the first resource here, Finviz. Now, this is pretty much going to be your magnifier into the stock market. Right off the bat, we see the 3 big indices, um, some information here. You even get a little poll whether you think it's going to be bullish or bearish in the next 5 minutes. You get a nice heat map. You also, all these up here, you can get a screener, maps, groups. You can make your own portfolio and see how they're doing. Don't really know what insiders is. Futures, you can check out the futures. Forex markets, back testing. There's a lot of things you have to pay for. If you don't pay for it, you're going to get 15 minutes delayed, which is okay by me. Um, I tried the elite version, and I canceled it after the first month. I wasn't really satisfied with it because I have a brokerage account, so I didn't need that. I didn't need that. So, you could even come here, even though it's 15 minutes delayed, you could still, you see GALT ran, GALT, pop that in, blah, 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 blah. And it tells you here, top gainers, new high, overbought, losers, oversold, etc. We got major news, earnings, insider trading, forex bonds. You check at the 10-year, 30 years yield when so that yield curve is gonna invert, and it's slowly going to it. But that's another video. We got futures. We got everything. Economic data that comes out that I cover for you guys, and we even got news here. It's very interesting to pop on their news. You got blogs and news. Sometimes I find that the blogs are more truthful. I see a couple Jim Ricker stories in here, and I don't know. You get some good stuff here. You kind of get the fake news. I like Market Watch, but it's just, eh, I just, I can't stand it at the same time. Um, there you go. But basically, you're going to be using this for screening. And I already just did this on my own. I just clicked some things that I would find bullish indicators. And right off the bat, I found AKG, which on my stock screener for my Thinkorswim app, we got a 39% gainer. That's the number one. And I spent like I don't know 5 minutes. No, a minute, a minute and a half looking through all these things I want to click. And I just was looking for bullish moves. Um, okay, so I think for an example, we'll just take AKG. And this is when um, we are going to go to StockCharts.com. And now we're going to look at a daily chart, and we're going to use indicators. So I'll teach you how to kind of set this up so it looks nice here. And we're doing AKG. What was it? AKG, that's Alpha, Kilo, Golf. Okay. Now, here we go here. Some things we want to do if you want. I like solid candles. Color scheme, I really like I really like sunset, really pretty. And let's leave these candles not solid. We'll have a zoom thumbnail. Um, Overlays, we could do parabolic SAR balls. Um, and is there anything else we want? Nah, MACD and the other one, MACD and RSI are good enough. So let's update. Great. You know what? What if we fill them? What happens if we fill them? They're black. I want green candles. Oh, here we go. Color up green. Color down red. Okay, and what we also want, we want to put these both below. And we're going to update. Great. So now we have something that I could work with and that I would enjoy looking at, and I could personally trade here. So I just want to make sure that you guys can fully see the chart here. So we'll make me a little smaller. Great. Okay, beautiful. Now we got something to look at. We have we could see on the daily there's a breakout. So this stock is on watch. It's not completely overbought in the RSI. But you can see this stock was in a little downtrend, popped up, and fought this support here, and popped up again. Um, these parabolic SAR balls, they're pretty good. They kind of tell you what the move's doing. You know, you see this is on the bull side, on top's the bear side. The relative strength indicator tells you when the stock's overbought and underbought. Typically, you'd want to buy in underbought scenarios, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So like here, didn't happen. Now, it's hard to use the scanner and from Finviz to find stocks you're going to trade that day. But sometimes, if you do a pinch play, if you find stocks that maybe look good, you keep them on the watch list and you keep at them. So hey, this stock AKG looks pretty good. Right now we're backing off on my Thinkorswim app from it, backing down off the highs. So if it holds, it might be good for Monday. You never know. But at this point, let's check out AKG's fundamentals on our next handy dandy resource. That's Yahoo Finance, everybody. Yahoo Finance is pretty cool. Okay, so we're typing in AKG, Alpha, Kilo, Golf. Okay, off the bat, we get this summary page with news, press releases, all that stuff, earnings, financials, recommendations, pump stuff about the company, company profile, upgrades, downgrades, whatever the hell you want. We could look at a chart, conversations, people talking about this stock. This stock is going to $10 in the next 2 years. Yeah, great, buddy. Get your ass on StockTwits. That's another site that is not included in this resource because that's a Twitter for stocks. You know, that's not really like a tool that helps you trade, but you could find people talking about stocks that may be of interest. So there you go. What I like to look at in particular is the float. We have a huge float here. Huge float, 159 million. That's a humongous amount of see, but here's the trick. Percent held by institutions, 60%. So we're talking roughly like 75 million, maybe probably here's 80 million shares float that's available to the peoples. So your average 10-day volume 630K, and I'm going to tell you how much volume we got today. Actually, let's just go here. We got 0.55, so how much would that, oh, actually, that's 6 mil. 6 mil volume today. That's pretty freaking high, considering it's normally 600K. You could see if there's any splits. That's pretty important. Balance sheet, uh, total debt, 158 million. Total cash, 50 million. Profit margin, 2.5%. Pretty good. Pretty good. And, you could fool around with this stuff, historical data, holders, options, finance, profile, you name it. And there's also a lot of other good stuff on here. You could create watch lists. I guess there's screeners here. I never even used this right here. Look at this. There's screeners. Go ahead, guys. Utilize this stuff to the best of your ability. There's so much good stuff here. If you have a brokerage account, it's probably best to just stick with the brokerage account. But if you don't have a brokerage account, or you do and you don't like using their platform, maybe these resources would be beneficial. Especially if the platform doesn't have a mobile app or anything. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. And if you guys can't make a brokerage account because you don't have enough money to put in for a minimum deposit, there are brokerage accounts that have no minimum requirement, such as AliInvest, Options Express, Choice Trade, Trade Monster. You can find more on the internet and look into them. I didn't really look into these. I just wanted proof that you guys can make your own without having to deposit any money. Originally, my first brokerage account was Options House. Classic website. I loved it. Then it got taken over by what's that company? E-Trade. So E-Trade took that over, and then they required you to put $1,000 minimum in it. And at the time, I just wasn't really so into trading where I had to put $1,000 in. So I ended up waiting and making a TD Ameritrade account, and I kind of fell in love with Thinkorswim, but at the same time, it's really laggy and has its problems. So there you are for your top 3 free resources you should be using in the market. Well, thank you very much. This is Market Michael, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow with some awesome videos. Take care.